Lots of Arizona Cardinals updates from training camp week 1. First of all, Michael Wilson is cooking. Can't wait to show you guys what he's been up to at training camp. Then, what is going on with Marvin Harrison Jr.? Not a good start to his camp. And finally, Carson Beck is improving. Didn't get off to a good start, but it's getting better. I'll give you all the Cardinals news right here on Cardinals Today, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Joe O'Donohue, and if you're a diehard Cardinals fan that's not already hit that subscribe button, join this family of Cardinals fans. We're only 8 subscribers away from 3.3 thousand. Can we hit 3.3K today? Just need 8 people to join the party, and what you get is free Cardinals videos, news, rumors, content, all of it for you guys for free just by tapping that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it if you are a diehard Cardinals fan to join this family. So we start with Michael Wilson, who has just absolutely been impressing so far, so much in training camp. First play is this diving, nearly one-handed snag that he makes down the sideline. Like, he's approaching this camp with effort, with talent, with skill. He's got a great build and archetype for a receiver. He just became a 1,000-yard receiver last season, and he's balling out in camp. And this might be a true battle for wide receiver 1 here in Arizona. Another over-the-shoulder catch here made by Michael Wilson. Like, there's just plays surfacing all over social media right now of Michael Wilson absolutely dominating. And then he's kind of moving different. Like, he's got a little swagger to him, a little extra motion. He catches a touchdown here, and then Michael Wilson turns to defensive coordinator Nick Rallis, flips the ball to him like, draw something else up. He's moving different this year. I'm feeling really high on Michael Wilson, and I can't wait for his 2026 campaign. I think it's Michael Wilson season in Arizona. For anybody that plays fantasy football, Michael Wilson will be a steal late in your drafts. But I would encourage people who aren't on board to get on board. Okay, we were having an argument at the Chat Sports office the other day, and my coworkers, we call him Smitty. He was disrespecting Michael Wilson. Didn't think Michael Wilson was even better than Jordan Tyson and Stephon Diggs and a bunch of other guys who I said, you're sleeping, brother. Michael Wilson could easily be wide receiver 1 on this team next year. Mike LaFleur said that he's similar to Puka Nacua, in fact. They'll line him up in the slot, and they're trying to get him to play that role. I think we could see a real breakout season for Michael Wilson if he stays healthy. Let's move on to quarterback throwing him the ball, though. We'll be honest here about Carson Beck. He had a bad start to camp. He was missing throws, throwing it low. It wasn't all pretty. In fact, one of the reports said that Carson Beck had not completed a single pass in either day more than 5 yards down the field. This was a few days ago, the first couple days of camp. And it was embarrassing. It was definitely cause for concern. But the latest updates, okay, and more recently, Cardinals rookie quarterback Carson Beck has showed some progress during padded practice. He's getting a little bit better at, I think what stood out to me on the film of Carson Beck so far in training camp is he didn't look comfortable early on. His feet were a little, happy feet, a little dancy, not making the right throws, and just off-target throws. And it's a little surprising for a guy who's kind of a college football veteran. It wasn't good, and what he started to do now is sort of get a little bit more confidence, find his groove, as training camp goes on, but bad start early for Carson Beck. And it kind of puts into perspective, don't you see why the Cardinals were trying to keep Brissett now, and they ended up giving him a raise? Because they can't throw Carson Beck out there right away in week 1. It would be a disaster. Clearly, the rookie has some development to do, some learning to do, and he's a young rookie, so that's not a problem. Not everybody can come in the league right away and be Josh Allen, be Patrick Mahomes, and I don't think Beck will be that, but clearly he needs a little bit of time. So let me know in the comments section what your confidence level is in Carson Beck. On a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling? Let me know by typing a number down below how you feel about Carson Beck and your confidence level in him. Before we move on with the updates, let's give a shout out to our good friends over at Prize Picks. Today's show is made possible because of Prize Picks. Listen, Prize Picks is a lot of fun, guys. It's time to cash in with America's #1 sports picks app. Prize Picks is the best place to win cash while you're watching sports. The app is really easy to use. Just pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. For example, I asked producer Ethan to come up with a lineup here, and he's a believer in Marvin Harrison Jr., okay? He's picking the more on Marv's receiving touchdowns. I do think Marv, at the very least, is a red zone threat for Arizona. He's going to play that X role, so I don't mind the pick, even though I'm feeling a little concerned about MHJ. So if you guys want to go pick the less on Marv, you can, and if you download the Prize Picks app. He's also picking the more on Cam Ward. Passing touchdowns, more than 18.5. I think that is a pretty good pick for Cam Ward as well. And Prize Picks is a new user offer for you guys. Play your first $5 and get $150 in lineups if you win. Just use code HMA when you sign up. That's right, Prize Picks just switched up their offer. There's no better time to join, lock in, and win that first lineup. It's code HMA at sign up to get $150 in bonus lineups if you win your first $5 lineup. Let's move on to Marvin Harrison Jr. MHJ just had drop after drop after drop in training camp so far. It was bad. I counted at least 6 or 7 drops for Marvin Harrison Jr. already, which is concerning because he's had drop issues before, and what you saw early on in training camp was lack of effort, lack of concentration. It's not good. It's partially mental, I feel like, with Marvin Harrison Jr. now, when there's so much hype. And now he is just out there. It really feels like a concentration issue when he's dropping the ball. I don't know what's going on with Marv. Mike LaFleur did say that he thought Marvin Harrison Jr. bounced back really nicely after all the drops because it was such a big, it's viral right now. It was clear as day what was going on, him dropping the passes, so much so that reporters were asking Mike LaFleur about it. And he said he thought Marv handled it well, getting back out there and bouncing back. Well, what else was he going to say? Yeah, Marv's bad. No, he's never going to say that, and you shouldn't say that because he's not a bad receiver. But something is wrong right now with Marvin Harrison Jr. Thankfully, though, he did have a play yesterday where you started to see him find his groove a little bit more. This one in particular really did stand out to me. Here's Marvin Harrison Jr., fakes like he's cutting inside and then boom, cuts the other way and is off to the races for a touchdown in the back of the end zone. And this is where I think Marv can really excel. Like, I think he can be a good red zone wide receiver. That can be Marv's role next year. I mentioned that he's going to be playing the X role. He's added a lot of muscle for whatever reason. He looks freaking jacked. So I do think that he can be special when the Cardinals get down to the red zone, when you get inside the 25 even. That is where Marv can excel for this team if he's not going to be the true wide receiver 1 anymore. And I think back to the Dallas game where Marv really did start to come alive, and he just absolutely cooked Deron Bland. Look at Deron Bland. He's stumbling, ankle breaker over here. Marv freaking cooked him. And I think this is where he can excel and play his best ball because he still has quick feet. He still shows routes once in a while where it's a flash of like, that was nasty. Like, this play went viral. I do worry, though, about him over the middle, catching balls when contact's coming. Maybe that's why he put on the muscle to help with that issue. But again, there's a concentration issue. And he's dropping the passes over the middle of the field. Looks like he's not balled in on every play. That's the part that worries me. So let me know in the comments section what you guys think and make of all this from Marvin Harrison Jr. Do you think he's going to bounce back? Type Y for yes if you do. If not, type N for no if you're starting to give up on the once 4th overall pick in the NFL draft. But I'll keep you guys updated with everything that goes down here at Arizona Cardinals training camp. That is why you should hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you all for tuning into the show. It is free to subscribe, so join our family of Cardinals fans here. I'll see you guys pretty soon with some more Cardinals updates.